Well, it's January 7, 2025, down here in south central Texas, and we had our first couple freezes. And, I had been running my tobacco curing thing through these, boxes with leaves in between paper towels in the cases to cure them out until they start getting yellow and brownish, and then going from these things, letting them air out on the beds, like I had done with all these. Actually, I laid them out to air out. I had just harvested all this, but we had these freezes for the last couple nights, light freezes, but enough to burn these things really bad. Like this one's not burnt much at all. It's kind of a regular tobacco leaf, but like this guy though, it's like sloppy feeling. I mean, it's floppy, sloppy. And I remember one other year, when I had a freeze hit and I pulled in all that frozen tobacco, and it ended up becoming just a quick, mucky mess. So this is kind of an experiment. Like that's like what I like to do, is try things out. But I'm going to see if I could control that, and get it to break down right or nearly right, and not just to salvage it all, but to see what it turns out to be. Because I've never heard of anybody like really curing rotten, gooey looking tobacco. Now, what's weird is like I just put these leaves out here. Well, I picked those and had them in a box overnight, and then laid them out today. And some of those, they, I guess, because they froze like that, you can hear that kind of dry, and you're not supposed to let it get dry green, right? So these things, I mean, it shouldn't be. These leaves shouldn't be feeling dry for, these ones here have been in for, I've been working them around here in the house for a week, to get them yellow and getting ready to turn brown, before they go into the jars, which really is just all backing up to, it's quite a sight. The tobacco and the candles, and that's actually the lion's mane right there in the middle there from that stuff we harvested. But that's enough wax. Those are big candles. That's enough wax to, wax is fuel. You can actually, burn it. You can burn it in the house, and but that's a lot of fuel there. But I'm getting sidetracked. But anyway, I had a bunch of 2024 already harvested and cleaned up. That's, shoot, I don't know, pound and a half or something. And then all these that still needed ground up. Last year's 2023 still back there. Big full jar of that. It's crammed in there. That's probably a couple pounds. And then this stuff that was coming, off of that curing process over there, out of those boxes into these jars. And these leaves have been getting dry, so I put a bunch of wet ones in there with it. And a bunch of them in that jar too. Is that tobacco, I got to get better on my airtight seals on these things, because that tobacco was getting dry in that jar. So I layered in some of these ones that were not nearly dry enough really to be going into a jar. But all those dry leaves, they'll suck all that moisture out of there and dry them out. So now I've got this disaster, because this is a lot of frickin' leaves, man, because I had to get them off because we had those 2 nights of freezing, and there's a lot more of those nights coming up. So a bunch of these are that floppy stuff, and I mean, this one's here is like almost like it's like cooked spinach or something. But anyway, I'm gonna lay it out between the paper towels and suck that water out of them like that. And it's gonna be a trick though, because they want to dry out. I can't let them dry out green, so it's gonna be a whole different sport. I probably should get all the wet ones together in their little group, and and get them all tucked into their little pink cases to, they can all do their little hydration and dehydration. It's funny because if they're too dry, you're hydrating them, and if they're too wet, you're like dehydrating them and then into the air. And so anyway, that's what's going on. But that's a lot of frickin' leaves. I'm gonna have this box packed and I'll have to take my knife sharpening stuff out of here and use that box for this too. That's that little Monstrosa. That's that Trichoceros. Wow, stickly. Whew. Monstrosa. It's kind of like one of those, yikes. What, Brigizii or I don't know. That's a monster though. Ouch. Mwah. These things will get you. Made some good tea today too. Mixed up the bunch of powder of this lion's mane and ginger and manhista and dandelion root powder, burdock root powder, and a bunch of sumac berry powder that I had harvested up. And ooh-wee, that stuff, I'm going to end up being like 110 years old and wondering why the hell I ever did that. But anyway, there's little Buddha, man. He's sitting there like just digging on the moss, man, digging on the, yeah, he's in the ground crew. Yeah, Buddha, he's in the ground crew. I guess you got to figure out what to do forever, huh, Buddha? Huh? What do you think of the ticket to this world? You're starting to wonder how we ever got here.